feel like for a guy like me in the Australian scene, it's hard to push through sometimes when you're not doing what everyone else is doing. Like personally, I'm someone who I see myself as a versatile artist. I can make your pop music. I can make music that is easily accessible. It's not hard to do. And you know, I've showed people who manage me in my industry, people that I can do that, but that's not what I want to be doing.
I think in this music world, you got to learn to be a leader for sure. It's easy to do what everyone else is doing. You can easily see what someone is doing and imitate that and make money or whatever you need to do. I don't think that's necessarily a skill. As an artist, I think it should be about your own kind of heart, your own inspiration, your own way of doing things. And if that way of doing things does fall in line with what everyone else is doing, sure, go for it. If that's what you feel in your heart you got to do, then you got to do that. But for me, I find that most of what I do doesn't always necessarily fall in line with what's considered the right way to do it, or the way that's going to sell the best, or the most radio-friendly way of doing things. But I think the people who go against that are people who survive the longest. Because all the people that come through and just do what everyone else is doing and then just try to sustain doing that, they die off really quickly. When you put out something that you're saying what needs to be heard, but then you're told, hey man, that's great, but maybe you should do this instead. And they always do it in a way that's kind of like, they don't actually just go right out and say, we don't want you to do that because it won't sell. They'll do it in a way that's like, that is great, hell yeah, keep doing that, but while you're doing that, maybe you should try a little bit of this as well. I hate that. Because before I was doing hip hop, as an audience, when you hear someone talking about these things, you don't necessarily get it. You go, they get labeled very quickly under crazy. It's something that happens a lot. When someone is really speaking their heart and speaking their mind, then suddenly they're crazy. That's bullshit. Straight up. And that's something I'm learning now. And I'm glad I'm learning it early in my career, because if I hadn't, who knows where I've been in however many years. But I now understand when people are really speaking their heart and speaking their mind, you got to stand up for those people, and that's what I do now. And of all the songs I've written, there is no doubt in my mind that my favorite is FreeDOOM. The first 4 lines of it, Malcolm X, Kennedy, I was like, where's this going? At the time, I just watched that video in Chicago. It was one of those things that as soon as I watched it, words that started coming out. Those are the kind of songs that I love the most, and that's the, out of a handful of songs, that's one that really just kind of, it was almost as if it was already there, written in my head, so that I just didn't know about it, because it was just coming out. And it's got this thing about it that I knew would conflict as well. That song is straight up about that idea of me and you, we are one people. So why should I be bringing you down? Why should you be bringing me down? It's about unity. That song was about getting past that, taking each other down, more about coming together and being united. That's what drove that song.
FreeDOOM, summer turn to FreeDOOM.